between people, which are made possible first because people are all connected, and not only people, but things, devices, will be connected more and more. And on the other hand, beyond the connection, there is information about, there is a kind of virtual world mirror of the physical world on which they can work. And to intermediate between people and services, people and transportation, people and medical services, etc., you can do this work in the virtual world on data, and you can do it globally, worldwide. While doing so, what you do is you destroy all the old intermediaries that were mostly local intermediaries, cab companies, for instance, newspapers, and so on. Now, it seems that some of the departments of our government, including very fundamental departments, will be destroyed more or less the same way by intermediation companies. So either the governments will be able to develop such tools, or private companies will do the job. There are a lot of aspects that are worth mentioning about the intermediation actors. They are all platforms. They create ecosystems. They have plug-and-play services, so every industry can plug in and offer its services through their ecosystem. Now, what is interesting as well is that there are kind of concentration laws. There is a kind of Metcalfe law working for intermediation players, which explains why we have extremely large intermediaries now. A lot of aspects are interesting and disrupting. With these intermediaries, they always work on a two-sided market where you have producers of services or goods and consumers of services or goods. But they make it possible to go from one side to the other side. I could be driver or passenger in a transportation service, thus abolishing the differences and the professional. How much time do I have? 2 minutes. Okay, thanks. Other aspects which are also very important to understand is, well, they might offer a basic intermediation service. Think of the search engine which connects people to essential information or knowledge. They have externalities, and most of the time they are much more disrupting on their externalities than on their initial services. If you think of the search engine, it didn't really disrupt people at the beginning, but it killed the advertisement industry. And I guess the same is true for most of these services, and I think Uber, for instance, will disrupt much more than the transportation services. Now, if you think about the government, it is extremely difficult to take decisions. I just want to give one example, and I take government as a global word. The decision of the European Court of Justice to impose the implementation of the right to be forgotten, or right to be dereferenced on Google, is actually contributing to increase the knowledge Google has of Europe, because in fact, European citizens have to apply if they want to see pages concerning them dereferenced, and this gives a tremendous amount of information to Google about European citizens who have or had troubles. So the decisions that governments or public administrations, whether executive justice, are taking are extremely subtle and might have consequences that are against their interest. Okay, and I will conclude on that. Thank you.